Hello and welcome back to Down the Track, and it's that time of the year again. It feels like it's happening every 2 days, but the IPL is back. The IPL Carnival will be taking center stage in what 5 days, 4 days time, and it's a newer kind of format compared to last year with 10 teams. We had that once before, but it's a very exciting format. I think it's a longer tournament also, so let's see if we can sustain that entertainment. With me is my co-host Abraziz. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to it. I mean, my excitement levels for the IPL is just unparalleled. To be very honest, I always enjoy the carnival, and I'm looking forward to it.
100%. And we had that mega auction. Of course, there's going to be gaps in every team because it's that four foreign player rule, and then you have limited number of players. No matter how many players you have, it's going to be limited, especially when there's an extra two teams. So I think every team will have gaps. But let's start off and go through the teams and see how they stack up, and yeah, basically just a good preview with all the teams.
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
You want to start with the Mumbai Indians, the defending champions? Not
Yeah,
defending champions, the most successful team.
successful team. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good way to start. I think for Mumbai Indians, I think the way the auction I think went was it was a little interesting. I mean, of course, there's a lot of news coming in that Jofra Archer might be available for this season. If Jofra Archer is coming in, I think this team's complexion changes tenfold. I think there's a very completely different team because of addition of one player. But apart from that, I think their auction was they focused a little bit more on the uh, longer term aspects of their team because Jafra Acha might not be available this time. They've invested in Deval Brevis and someone like a Tilak Verma who's really not taken the IPL by storm. So they've gone in a little bit more youth centric, and they've tried to fill gaps in with not the higher end kind of players. Like for example, I feel like their bowling without Archer is a little bit weak. That's I think one of the weaknesses that I've noticed in their side. I think the bowling might be a little bit of a problem. They have what it takes in terms of they have fantastic players that can change games. But I think the fact that they might be missing like one bowler shot. I think at this point in time, they've made some good buys. They've gone in with Tim Davids. Tilak Verma is an exciting prospect. I'm being told Tama Mills is a T20 specialist. So if he can keep himself fit, I think he's a good prospect. And of course, they have the four retentions in Rohit, Sky, Bumrah, and the Pollard, who are just fantastic. So they can change the game on its head on any given day. So it is an interesting strategy that Mumbai Indians gone with. How much will it pay off is something we'll have to see. But Mumbai Indian knows how to make a ordinary situation extremely in their favor, which is fantastic. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see
think
how
you
that
got
goes.
it spot on. I would just say like two places that I would target if I'm the opposition is their bowling. Apart from Bumrah, there's no Archer this season, so their bowling, especially the spinners. I would
Yeah,
target that, and then the batting, the hole that Hardik Pandya and Kunal Pandya are leaving, right? I think that's another place that you can target as the opposition. Those putting pressure on that middle order. Now it's not as stable as it was before, and I think it's natural for Mumbai Indians to have gaps now because there are 10 teams. They can't have everything, and yeah, so I think you hit the nail on the head on that.
yep. I think I agree with that. I think they have a couple of interesting players. Like of course, Ishan Kishan. We didn't talk about him. They went in and paid a lot of money to bring him back in. So they obviously know that they want to build the core around the 5-6 players, and they'll have those players, and then
Mm.
they can just fill the gaps with the others. So it is what it is for them at this point in time. But I've gone in with a probable 11 for them. We can just quickly talk about that, and then we can see what the if you want to make any changes or anything. So I've obviously gone on with Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan. At number three, I have Tilak Varma. At four, I have Surya Kumar. Five, Pollard. I have six, Tim David. At seven, I have Daniel Sams, which I think is a good another good all rounder that they've bought in. At eight, I have Sanjay Yadav, but that can be changed with an Unatkat if needed. And then I have Mayank Markande at nine, Tama Mills at 10, and Bumrah at 11.
That sounds like a strong team. I think Tymal Mills, he was really impressive in the T20 World Cup, so watch out for him.
Yeah.
He does have the tendency to get hit sometimes, but I felt that he was kind of underrated in that World Cup, in that particular World Cup. So I'm actually excited to see what he can do, and also. Uh, correct me if I'm wrong, there's another player waiting in the wings, at Mohammad Arshad Khan. I heard a lot about him. Yeah, I've been reading in different places. Kiran More has also spoken really highly about him. So he's someone who can be used as a utility player. I think he can bowl and bat. So he's saying they're saying that he might plug that Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya kind of thing. But again, he's young. It's going to be difficult to hit from ball one. But that's how you discovered these two Pandya brothers as well. So I think they're starting somewhere. And one thing about Mumbai is their scouting system is outstanding. So something
Yeah,
will happen.
I completely agree. I think there is a lot of talk about Muhammad Rashid Khan. There's a talk about Sanjay Yadav. There's talk about Tilak Verma. These are the players that the Mumbai Indians have gone and spent a bunch of money on. So they've gone in, and it's not like base price picks that they've made. They've put in a little bit more money to get these guys. So they obviously had their strategy in place. Deval Brevis, for example, we saw him light up the Under 19 World Cup. So
Yeah.
there are 4 or 5 really good players, prospects for them to look out for. I think it's a matter of molding them into the team. But I don't think they'll be able to play all the 15 games or 14 games right off the top. But there will be opportunities that will come in. Maybe like if a Tilak Verma doesn't perform, someone like a Deval Brothers comes in, and then unfortunately because of the foreign system, one of the other players will have to sit out and they'll have to just work their permutations and combinations. But I think that they have some very good, exciting talent sitting on the bench. So to fill the gaps that they might have through the course of the tournament. But I just feel like at this point in time, their bowling, especially the spinner, and someone like if like Tema Mills can do a good job, yes. But like you could take Daniel Sams to the cleaners and stuff like that. So there is a little bit of weakness in that bowling. So the batting will have a little bit more pressure to put in those 15-20 extra runs every game.
Yep. And where are they qualifying, and which position
I
are they?
think I think they will not make the playoffs.
Oof, okay.
Yeah.
Big call. Mumbai Indians, the most successful franchise according to Avraz, is not making the playoffs. I made that call last season. I got it right. The season before I got it wrong. The season before I got it wrong, where they won twice. So you never know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. They do have clear weaknesses, but so do other teams. So having said that,
Almost every single team has one or two weaknesses at least.
exactly. So saying that, let's move on to the next team, the second most successful team in the IPL and defending champions this time. I think I'm getting it right. The Chennai Super Kings.
The Chennai Super Kings, the way they've gone in, I think they will miss Chahar a lot. I think that's a very, very big miss. I believe he's going to not be available for about a half of the tournament,
That's a
if
big
I'm
miss.
not wrong.
And then we
Uh,
don't know what his fitness will be when he does come back. Will he be able to be in that, replicate that
Peak.
form?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a very, very big miss because, again, similar to Mumbai, I think that CSK wanted to bring that core back that they trust and that they want. But a lot of these core people are towards the end of their career. I don't want to take any respect away from likes of Robin Uthappa or Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but they are not the same that we've seen them. So the core is a little bit, towards the end. Like for example, Ambati Raidu is also finishing his career sort of. So there are some gaps that I see in this team as well. I am a little bit worried about the bowling, especially because they don't have a Chahar. Because a backup Indian bowler is a problem for them. I don't see someone. They have a couple of options. They have like a K Masif. They have some other one or two other options, but they don't have like a out and out quality fast bowler that has gone on and lit the IPL up. That's going to be a problem for them, I think, because they don't have that opportunity. They have a couple of good foreign players, so they'll have to stack up their foreign bowling, their bowling with the foreigners, and then have more Indian, I guess, batting setup. They have the likes of Jordan and Bravo and Adam Mill, who will probably take the brunt of the bowling responsibilities for this team. So that's going to be an interesting thing, if and Moilani all picks himself, in that top order. So they'll have to but play a lot of Indian players around him. So that's going to be the challenge for CSK. The fact that I think that their batting unit might be overall. I feel like uh, uh, they have a lot of experience, but the players that they have are towards the fag end of their career. They will have a lot of experience, but they will miss the likes of Chahar, I think, which is a big blow. And their bowling, if these foreign players cannot get used to the conditions quickly, they could lose the first few games, and then it's always like catch up for them. So
Yep.
that's my feeling with this team.
Yep. And you're starting 11 if everyone is fit.
Yeah, if everyone is fit, then it's easy. Obviously, then it's Robbie up top because they don't have Faf anymore, which is unfortunate. But Robbie and Rituraj are up top. They play Ali at 3, Shivam Dubey at 4, Raidu at 5, Jaddu at 6, Dhoni at 7, Bravo 8, Jordan 9, Adam Milne 10, and Chahar I have at 11, but obviously probably be like a KM Asif for someone at 11 at this point in time.
You know
So
who's exciting me the most in that 11? Shivam Dubey, because I just feel he's a Dhoni type player. I just want to see what Dhoni can do. Can he maximize his potential? Like,
because that is a that if anyone can, Dhoni can. We all
yeah,
know, we've seen it in the past.
yeah,
If he can really go out there and change the course of his own career. Also, unfortunately, it's in a downward spiral, and he hasn't played much. He was picked with the Royals last time, but he didn't play every single game. This I think this position, I think in this team he has a good chance to get a good set of games, especially now with the importance of needing Indian players in the top order, because they are using three of the four options in Bravo, Jordan, and Milne are being used in the bottom. So they have that opportunity. They have to use some Indians. So if he can fit at that number four and take a few games, get in and get going, I think he's an exciting prospect. We've seen flashes of good playing him, but it is what this is the team that can turn around his career, and for CSK's career as
yeah.
well. Only
This
team
is
that can do it.
this looks like his last chance. No pressure, but like this like
Yeah.
the last chance kind of thing. If Dhoni can't, then no one can. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's see how that
And
goes.
and, and the thing about the one of the strengths that I always see in a CSK team is they go batting up to 9, 10, and 7, 8 bowling options. Again, similar, some in the top six, you have people who can bowl almost 12 overs. You can Ali and Jaddu will give you 8 overs, and Dubey can give you 2 overs. So that's 10 overs in your top six. So
Yeah.
your bottom five just need to bowl 10 overs. Everyone bowls 2 overs, you're good. That's the fantastic thing about this Chennai side. It's always a lot of options, which helps them all the time.
100%. And where are they going to finish, in your opinion? Give me a number. That's
Um,
it. I just want a
this
number.
is the hardest, man.
I'll understand once you to give me
I
the
think
number.
sixth.
So they're not making the playoff.
I'm
I
I'm
should.
saying I'm
I
saying
don't know why.
Mumbai Indians fifth, and CSK sixth.
No, that's fine. Like I asked for a number, you gave me a number, so I'm not
No, actually
judging
Mumbai
you on
Indians
it.
seventh.
Yeah. Just
I think
like our
I
auction
hope
preview,
Punter doesn't watch this.
just like our auction preview, there is a hint of biasness, but we'll only get to know in a few more teams. But yeah, I think that wraps up CSK, and let's move on. You're doing a good job, Don. Very accurate kind of descriptions. But let's go to another big team. And this team is Royal Challengers Bangalore. All I want to say about this team initially is that, they haven't won a trophy, but their brand is right up there. I don't know if you saw that Faf du Plessis captaincy launch. There was like thousands and 10 thousands of people outside for that. So this team, whether they win a trophy or not, they are kind of a role model on how to run a franchise just with popularity.
I completely agree. I think their marketing strategies are out of this world. I think
Yeah.
that they beat any team hands down. You look at someone like a Sunrisers in front of an RCB, it looks like, it's like chalk and cheese. Literally, that's the difference. You'll
And I
see
think, like, honestly, KKR was for me the top, right? But over the last few years, RCB has been
taken
outstanding.
over taken
Yeah.
over. I think RCB by miles, even they leave even Mumbai, CSK, everyone behind in terms of their marketing strategies, everything. I think they are just top notch, and I think they don't have any competition in terms of their marketing, their style, the way they brand, the way they portray themselves as just nothing else. I just don't understand how a team that has not won anything, zero, they won zero, has gone on to do this. If a Mumbai Indians does it, the most successful team, everything, if they do it, makes sense. This team, I don't know what the loyalty comes from, where it comes from, whatever, it's good for them.
Yeah.
I do hope that they can really go on and at some point win, because all these poor hundreds and hundreds of fans are always going to be wanting and hoping. But I have issues with this team as well, as I've already told you. Uh, for me, in terms of just coming back to the cricket ground, sort of, in terms of the ability of their after that, I think that similar RCB problem. After top 3, 4, they don't
Three and
have
five is
like
the
a,
issue.
huh?
3 and 5 numbers are a
Exactly.
big
Yeah.
issue.
After their 3, 4 first top three, I don't see that they have a finisher per se. Like someone like a Pollard or a Russell or a Jaddu. These kind of players. They are missing that kind of a player. Very, very strong kind of player. They're missing him. The only experienced player they have is a Dinesh Karthik, who is again towards the end of his career. He's spiraling downwards in his career. He's older now. He doesn't play cricket consistently. It's more on an IPL to IPL basis. So those things will impact. And there's no ABD this time also, like in ABD, even though he plays IPL to IPL, he'll still give you 2-3 wins in a season, but that's also not there this time. So they have those problems which will be significant issues. If you can rip through the top order quickly, then there's that same old RCB problem. In terms of their bowling, I think they're missing maybe one bowler short, but I think overall they've done decently. I want to say to try to fill the gaps that they have, but I think still I feel like one bowler short. But batting wise, after their top four, I have a problem at 5, 6, and 7. That's my issue with this team. And the positive, obviously, the fact that they have experience in Faf coming in. Maxi is having a good. He had a good BBL, and Maxi is a good player. He's shown last year in RCB that he can perform. Virat, hopefully raring to go. The likes of Harshal Patel and Avarindu Hasaranga, who can really wicket taking options for them, and Siraj, if he can get going, then he's a good player as well. So these are some of the positives. But I just feel like that 5, 6, and 7, is a problem. Dinesh Karthik obviously makes that list for me, but at 6, I went with the Shahbaz Ahmed. It's so unfortunate because I don't. I mean, I would take no disrespect from Shahbaz Ahmed, but I just feel like he's not uh, an out and out finisher, and that's going to be a problem for this side. I couldn't find any other player to fit that role at this point in time, because that is another problem. And I've gone with Varindu at 7 because he is a handy bat, but how good is he? We'll find out.
Yeah, and
So my 11 is Faf. I have Anuj Rawat, who is a exciting prospect at to open the batting with Faf, because I think that Virat has to play at 3. I don't think Virat should open. So I play Virat at 3. I play Maxi at 4. DK at 5. Shabazz Ahmed at 6. Varindu Hasaranga 7. Harshal Patel 8. Siraj and Sid Kaul I've gone with at 9 and 10, and I have the Joshi Hazelwood as their number 11.
that's a good bowling attack. I think that's a very solid bowling attack.
Yeah, bowling they have. I think maybe they would have wanted to maybe get an upgrade on. With due respect to Sid Cole, I think that he's been a little bit expensive, but maybe just that's the only option that they probably wanted someone better on. But I think Sid Cole, if he can get going, he's also a good bowler. We've seen in the past with Sunrisers, he's had some very handy spells. So, and I think the fact that he's going to be the supporting bowler will help. But they have 5 very good bowlers. Yeah, another problem, and then Maxi with the ball also can give them a couple of overs, so that helps as well. So they have 1 or 2 options in the top 6 as well. But I think the only problem I have is that finishing 5, 6, and 7. Dinesh Karthik, Shahbaz Ahmed, Varindu Hasaranga. You're not going to get like 80 of 30 from them. I don't think you will. Hopefully, 1 or 2 games they might, but overall, I feel like there's a lack of potency over there.
This is where you need like Virat Kohli to have the best season. Second, or
Yeah,
like
again, yeah. And
maybe
a
not
lot of
best,
pressure
but
again on these players.
yeah,
That's not helpful. But the experience of Faf, Virat and Maxi, if they can get going, who knows? These guys have the capability to go all the way as well,
yeah,
right?
you need a bit of luck and you need form on your side, and you can win with a team like this. I think Sunrisers was a good example of that in 2016, where their top order was their order. That's it. They didn't have as much middle lower
Yeah,
order
yeah,
hitting, but then cutting came and smashed it. You want something like that, like Hasaranga comes in the final and hits it. So I think you need a bit of form and luck on your side, but otherwise it's not that bad of a team. But there is a clear weakness there in the batting order for sure. But
yeah,
bowling looks better than usual.
yeah.
It does look really
Agreed.
good.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%. I think they'll finish eighth.
Wow. RCB to finish eighth according to Abrar. Next team, let's go with the successful IPL team, Kolkata Knight Riders. They've won 2 titles. And
So
yeah,
far, so far, you've gone exactly in the order that I've set up. MI, CSK, RCB, KKR. Let's see if that order
I
continues.
think he'll screw up, but yeah, KKR with the new captain and captain who's in excellent form right now.
Yeah.
He led a Delhi side at a young age, and now he has more experience. I felt he did a decent job there, but now it's going to be a bit different. He doesn't have a Rabada Noki to close off, games for him. It's going to be a bit different. And yeah, Shreyas Iyer I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So how do you look at this side and Yeah, let's go with the strengths and weaknesses.
In this side, it's exact opposite of what RCB has. They have fantastic finishers. In like Russell, what's his name, Narayan, Sam Billings. These guys are fantastic finishers of the game. I feel like maybe a little bit short on the top. Their opening, I feel like they have a little bit of a problem over there. They have Gordon Finch and Alex Hales and stuff like that, but I feel like because of the foreign quota options, they will probably need Indian players up there. Uh, but I feel like that's going to be one small aspect that they want to think about as to how they want to go about their business with that. And then their bowling, I think apart from the fact that they have Narayan, Russell, these guys, but I feel like maybe and one really good fast bowler shot. I think they have the likes of Umesh Yadav, they have the likes of Shivam Mavi, and Pat Cummins hasn't taken the IPL on fire. He hasn't taken the IPL by fire. He's also going to come in a little bit later. We don't know how much fatigue will he'll have and
Yeah.
everything. Playing game in game out every alternate days is going to be taking a toll on him. So who is a Cummins solid backup? They don't really have that. And the likes of Umesh Yadav and Mavi will probably need to really go all guns blazing to really pick up the wickets up top, which will be the problem if they don't do that. So that is probably my bowling is slightly weaker, and up top, I have gone in with. Sheldon Jackson, but I don't know if he's going to play or what. There's an option to play either Rahane up top and then you put Rana at 3 and play Iyer at 4, or you play Sheldon Jackson at 4. He's had a relatively decent domestic season so far, and then you play Rana with Venkatesh Iyer up top. So it's a toss up between these two players. I think that they'll take, and then they finish it off with. So let me tell you my team. What I have right now, I've gone with Venkatesh Iyer and Rahane as the opening batsman. I have Rana at 3. I have Iyer at 4. Billings at 5. Russell at 6. Narayan at 7. Mavi at 8. Cummins at 9. Varun Chakravarti at 10. And Umesh Yadav at 11. So my
Umesh Yadav
feeling
is the
is that,
only one I worry about.
huh?
Umesh Yadav is the only guy I worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Umesh Yadav, he when he gets going, he can be fantastic, but then
Yeah,
he can also get whacked all around the park. So that is a bit of an issue over there.
it's hit
Um,
and miss. Yeah, with him.
Yeah, exactly. And Rahane, how he can take this, how can he play the important role of kind of rotating the strike and making sure everyone around him can go berserk will be an important player, because you don't want to limit every team needs to have that one kind of center stage where everyone around him can attack, and probably Rahane will have to step up to take that responsibility so that the likes of Venkatesh Iyer, the likes of Shreyas, the likes of Nitish Rana can really just come out and just play their natural game, get the quick runs that they will be needed.
Yeah, 100%. It's for me, it's the Pat Cummins point you made was a very important point because we talk about him as a sensational player, but you're right, his T20 impact, especially in the IPL, even in the World Cup for that matter, it hasn't been on that level that we see in Test matches, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be something for. I honestly felt that Ferguson was the bowler for them. I'm surprised that he wasn't retained because he was a main factor for them to make the playoffs or the finals last season. Again, it'll be spin reliant. Narayan and Varun Chakravarti, will they be able to live up to expectations? I mean, live up to the levels of last season. That's another thing. And Rahane, that's
We're,
a big
we're coming back in India. We're going to continue to play in India now. So initially, the pitches will be good and
good to
conducive
bat on.
to batting tracks. So
Yeah, but
if Varun can,
that will also help their middle order, especially Russell.
of course.
He's gonna be. I think. But yeah, your one player to watch out for, and where are they finishing?
So for me, the player to watch out for has to be Venkatesh Iyer. I think he again comes back at the top where he enjoys playing, and he just lit up the IPL last season. And that just for me, if he can continue, there's always that second season syndrome that we talk about. If
Yeah.
that's going to be the situation for him or no, will be interesting to see. But I think that this team has a bunch of their bases covered. If someone like a Russell can just win them a couple of games here and there, Shreyas Iyer just goes and wins them a couple of games. This team has what it takes, and that's why I'm going to give them fourth spot.
Fourth spot. Very interesting for me. Shreyas Iyer is the player to watch out for. Leading the side. Obviously, there was some issue in Delhi. I think it was handled more maturely. Like I mean, it wasn't leaked, so whatever it was
And
handled.
both parties, even Shreyas has not said anything bad about
Yeah,
that. He's always
yeah.
kept a good profile.
Yeah, there might be an issue between Pant and Iyer, but we have no proof of that. So they've handled it well, even if there was an issue. But I just feel that he's in excellent form. So with as the bat also want to see, but I think this is going to be a challenge for him, like I said before. So he's the player for me, and let's see if he can replicate what he's doing for India for KKR. Moving on. Fifth, let's go with the team which is the always the bridesmaid, never is the bride. Delhi Capitals.
So we have lost our form over here.
I thought
But
you were going with like yeah these kind. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
no, that's fine. It was too much to go. I think we got 4 out of 4, which is pretty good. But anyway, I think Delhi again. Again, fantastic. What's it called? Auction. I think that this is a team that just enjoys messing with the other everyone around them. They enjoy doing that, and they have always gone in and played. Uh, and gone in and got the players that they've really looked out for. I feel like the only problem that they have is probably a spinning option. I think they don't have a fantastic spinner, but apart from that, I think they are a very very solid side. I think that they're just going to go absolutely crazy, and I think they will finish first. I'm just giving you a straight up call over
I
here.
I don't think so.
I there are of course there are a couple of gaps. There's no doubt about that,
No,
but
the biggest gap is the availability of the players. Warner's going to miss a
yes,
few
of course.
games.
Yes, of course.
Mitchell
That
Marsh,
that is a yeah. I'm talking about ideal situation. Warner will
yeah,
miss about what two games. I think the first 2 games.
up to four. It'll between two and four. Yeah, I think two will be the more likelihood 2 games. But in this kind of format, you need your players there. And again, another problem that I have is Mitchell Marsh injury concerns in IPL. We
Yeah,
never know if he's going to be fit or not. If he's fit, then he's going to make. Sunrisers will let go of him pay, but I just feel that that's another concern for them and Nokia's fitness also. So these
yes,
three
of
players,
course.
availability and fitness wise, I think Warner will come and smash it, but that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Otherwise, you're right. This Delhi team looks really good, and Rishabh Pant at the wheel.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think let's give them second. Actually, to be honest, I
No,
think
no, it's
we've
okay.
kind
Go with
of
it. Go, don't get influenced.
okay.
No,
I'm not
don't get
getting influenced. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna on the basis of full strength. I think that Delhi will finish first.
okay.
So I think the like we said, we spoke about the players that you spoke about, Warner, Warner, Marsh, Punt, and Nokia. I think this is the backbone of this team. I think that if these guys can get going, there's no stopping them. This is a fantastic set of players, and they have a good core of Indian players around them that will really pep this team up to the next level as well. There are some issues, like we spoke about the availability of players, the likes of Shaw having this yo-yo test problem. But and then what else? Oh, that's it. That's it. Only Shaw I was talking about because I think that bowling again is fantastic. Only option is Kuldeep Yadav, but Kuldeep Yadav is raring to go. I think that he will really want. KKR didn't really play him a lot at all, so he's lost that opportunity. He's lost that time. I think here he gets a chance to really because he's going to be the first spinning option, and he's the only real option that they have. There are a couple other players, but I think that Kuldeep Yadav will make the 11 for the first few games, and if he can get going, then there's nothing like a good Chinaman to really take your bowling to the next level. To add to that, let me just go through my 11. I have Shaw, Warner, Michi Marsh, Punt, and then I have you can go with either KS Bharat or Sarfaraz depending on who you want at 5. Roman Powell at 6. Man, he has some power. Akshar Patel at 7. Shardul Thakur at 8. Kuldeep Yadav at 9. Chetan Sakaria, who's another good bowler, at 10. And then they have Nokia at 11. But if Nokia is not there, they have a couple of good backups as well in Mustafizur and a couple others. I just don't remember exactly. But I think Mustafizur is an able replacement, at least initially until Nokia comes back. But Nokia's fitness is a question. But in full fitness, we're talking about the ideal 11s in full fitness. I think Nokia gets that bit. So they have a lot of good options over there, and they have again, they have the likes of Mitchell Marsh can give you 4 overs of the ball, so you have a lot of a good balance and a good mix of batting and bowling in here. And Shardul Thakur has been fantastic with the bat and ball, and he comes in at 8. So they have enough strength and ability to finish all these games. Roman Powell, we've seen against India as well. He's just phenomenal with the bat. So they have a strong team. I think they have what it takes to go up and continue what they've been doing in the past 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, well, for me, it's just the way Avesh Khan, Nokia, and Rabada bowled in the past. To replicate that is very difficult, and
Very
even
hard.
then, they didn't win a trophy, even though that was outstanding bowling, right? Even then, they either came third or second. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. But maybe that works in their favor. Maybe they do get hit, but then there's someone like a Robin Powell scores 100 and wins them games and wins them the final, right? So uh, I just feel that consistency might lack, but they'll still be a dangerous team.
Because I feel like in Sakarya they have a relatively decent comparison if you compare It's unfair to compare Avesh and Sakaria, different kind of bowlers, but I think that they both have that good ability to wicket taking ability. I think Sakaria gets a little bit more responsibility over here. Uh, they are missing maybe an experience of a Rabada. That's definitely going to be a
Yeah.
problem. But I think that they like with someone like a Shardul and a Kuldeep Yadav, if we can get going, I think they have good uh, capability there. Actually, I am going to change them to second. I think that not getting influenced by you, but I think that maybe, like you said, someone like a Rabada and Avesh and
Yeah, but
Nokia will be
I,
comparatively. I think that.
I'll confuse you a bit more before we move on to the next team. Is that also again, like I said, right? The other teams will also have gaps. So, like
Yeah,
looking at like someone like a Thakur there as well. With if Nokia is fully fit, and if Sakaria can bowl up to potential, Akshar Patel, they do have options. So you are
yeah, of
right in
course.
that sense. But yeah, like that Rabada, Nokia, Avesh Khan level might not be needed as well, right? Because other teams also don't have that.
Yeah.
And if you compare Nokia's bowlers, I mean, his colleagues might be just a bit more experienced than Rabada's
Oh
colleagues.
yeah, absolutely.
So
Rabada's counterparts in Punjab, yeah, for
let's
sure.
go with Punjab next.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
A
Punjab.
very strong team, or 11 again. But I just feel if players do get injured, like a Rabada Beshro, then they're in some kind of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I think any team, if they may miss one or two big players, that becomes a very very big problem. So I have strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if you can see, but I have strengths and weaknesses written above all the players over here. So for me, the Punjab players, the Punjab strengths are a very good auction and stuff like that. But then the weaknesses I've written, they are Punjab. That's all I've written. That's my only weakness. But I
That's
really
what it
wish we
is.
could. Yeah.
Again, an excellent team on paper. If you can go through your 11, we'll know that it's an excellent team. But again, it's the off the field problems that they have.
If they lose a couple of games, then everyone gets involved and everything
Yeah,
suddenly just becomes difficult to manage. But again, I think that they've gone in and done part one of the job very well. They've done that before as well, but I think they've gone in and done part one of the job very well. I think they've created a relatively balanced side. Uh, they have good players in every department. I think that is helpful. They've gone in and picked up a couple of really experienced, good players as well. So that helps. I'll go through the 11 if you want to talk about it. Of course, we have Mayank and Dhawan opening the batting. I have Liam at three, Johnny at four because Johnny plays that role. He plays that floater kind of role pretty well. SRK at five, Odean Smith at six, Harmanpreet Brar at seven, who's Punjab's find. Rahul Chahar eight, Rabada at nine, Ishan Porel at 10, and Arshdeep Singh at 11.
I play
It's a
one
pretty
more
decent set.
batsman. I think Odin Smith at 6 is too early.
Too early. Harmanpreet
Those
Brar, I
sixes
think,
really changed everyone's mind against India. He's like
yeah.
a number 8, number 9, but you're not the only one. I've heard at least 3 other people in different podcasts leading into this saying that Odin will bat 6, 7. Even 7 is too early for him.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. But I just felt like Harmanpreet Brar could be at six and Odin could
He
come in at
bats at
seven
number 9 for West Indies,
for
Odin Smith.
West Indies. Yeah, but yes, he's just such a good player, man. I mean,
But again, you're risking it, right? Like if he
yeah,
has 5 overs to play, can he play a Russell type innings? I don't think so.
yeah, that's probably true. There is some
Might have to
options that
play
they have picked up.
one extra batsman, and then
Do
yeah,
you have an option instead of a Harmanpreet Brar?
no, I would play Brad as well because he can bat,
Yeah,
but uh,
then you remove an Ishan Porel and put in an Indian batsman up there in the
yeah,
middle.
that's what I would do.
Okay, fair enough. I think
Odin Smith is a bowler. If he's gonna get hit, if he can't maintain, then I think he's a bowler primarily.
right. I'm just trying to see if Punjab
And
options here.
Livingstone is your
Is my spinner, yeah. And then of course they have Rahul Chahar as well, yeah. Right?
yeah,
So
no, like Livingston can make up the overs if someone gets hit. That's what I'm saying.
right,
He should
right,
back
of
up.
course, yeah. Livingston is an option, I think, and yeah, let's I think about it. I'm trying to see
So
if
yeah,
there is
so
another player, that Indian player that they have in the middle order that can fit the bill for them. I think there was the options of they have limited options because they've spent a lot of money on like the likes of Dhawan
yeah,
and
that's what
Rabada. So
it is.
they had to pick up a lot of base players, and that
Yeah.
could be a little bit of maybe a Prabh Singh or someone comes in at as that option. So uh, I don't see anyone else as a.
Prabh Singh was, yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about as well. Prabh Simran Singh there. Yeah, so I just feel that, just beef
Do
up
they
that
have a
back.
Rashid Dhawan? They
Yeah,
have
Rishi
Rashid
Dhawan
Dhawan.
is there.
So
Yeah.
now that's an option as well again.
Yeah, so Rishi Dhawan, again, I think I would play Rishi
Not
Dhawan. No,
not
but I
at
would
six,
play
right?
him. Yeah, I would play him instead of I'll play him instead of what's his name, Ishan Pural, and
Ishan
then
Poral.
bump him up the order. But again, at number 6, I would prefer Rashid Khan at 7. But why not? Let's go 6 and then go from there.
Yeah, so that's an option for them. They have
Also,
to.
your boy is another option, Raj Angad Bawa, if you want to go like.
Raj Bawa is a very good option. Raj
But again,
Bawa is very good.
I would prefer probably Rashid Dhawan in that position at 6-7, and then go. I'm just saying, like Odin Smith can smash it. I completely agree with you, but in general, I don't know if he's someone who can play 7-8 overs or like even 4 overs for that matter. If it's a 1 over, then okay. Like I think 1 or 2 overs he'll smash it. That's the only thing I'm concerned about when it comes to Odin Smith.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
maybe they play Brar at 6, Rashid Dhawan at 7, and play Odin at 8.
yeah.
That's an option that they can work
Again,
out.
for me, Punjab, top order, amazing. Until Shah Rukh Khan, it's an outstanding order, but you need everyone to click,
Yeah.
even Livingston and these guys. And then with the bowling, you have Rabada, but the rest don't have as much international experience, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't played at that level as many times. But you don't need that in the IPL. If someone like Rashid Dhawan chips in, someone like Odin Smith chips in, and Rahul Chahar as well, then it's okay. I think they can manage. So
I think I agree.
overall, I think this team is, if you this 11 is there in the top 2, top 3 for sure. It's just
Yeah,
not
I think I agree with that. I think they have that capability, but just the fact that they are Punjab, and for that reason, I'm going to go fifth with them.
I kind of get it, because I just feel that if it does get exposed, then I'll know where those weaknesses are coming from, which we mentioned already, and that bowling can be a problem. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going top 4 for Punjab, maybe
that's I
second.
think a fair shout for you. I wouldn't be surprised if they make the top 4 this time. I think that they have a good all-rounded, well-rounded squad. 1 or 2 injuries, of course, changes everything. But if they can keep their core going, I think they have a very good shout at making top 4 this time.
Yep, and let's go with the next team now. Let's go with Rajasthan Royals. Much better bowling side. I think they've really improved their bowling. Their batting was outstanding last season. Maybe they don't have the likes of Ben Stokes right now, but if you add that bowling, it looks like a stronger team than last season. With Chahal there, Ashwin there, a very good bowling lineup.
I think the best auction, Rajasthan have had the best auction. I think by maybe DC had a decent auction as well. Punjab had a good auction as well. But I think if you have to pick the important things, I think that's where I think Rajasthan just took it away. They did very very well, I think, this time. And like you said, the bowling will win you tournaments, batting will win you matches, but bowling will win you tournaments. That is what is very important, I think, with this team. And I think that they have the capability to just go all out crazy. Maybe just again, I have just a little bit worry about their finishers, because if after Hetmeyer they like a Riyan Parag, he's not really he's had 1 or 2 good games and stuff like that, and then they'll have to go with like maybe a Jimmy Neesham or someone who's also good, but really not in the IPL standards. He hasn't taken the taken it like all guns blazing. So that is a little bit of a worry. But apart from that, I think that this is a very very strong, all round, well rounded squad, and their top 5 are very very good, and they can really get going. And I think Rajasthan has a very very good chance at making number 1 spot, and I've given them number 1 because you see you're talking about Ashwin and Chahal, who's very very good. To add to that, you bring in a Prasidh Krishna and a Bolt. That's 4 very very good bowlers. Not like you're not talking about any ordinary bowlers. You're talking about like proper hardcore perfect, like kind of very good bowlers. Then you have the likes of Jimmy Neesham and Rayan Parag to help you out with that number 5 option. And that's the only thing. Maybe the only thing that I think will worry Rajasthan will be the options if one of them is having an off day. That's my only worry with them. But I mean, Rayan Parag and Neesham will have to bowl 4 overs. And if like, both of them get taken to the cleaners, then you're playing with that 16 overs, 16 good overs, but 4 overs can really spoil a T20 game. That is the worry that they have. So, in terms of finishing ability, plus the fact that they need to have these 2 players will be a problem. So that can really propel them from first to suddenly fifth. That will be a problem for them. But I think uh, there is enough experience in a Jimmy Neesham to give you enough with the bat and the ball, I think.
100%. And who are your
So
openers? Sorry.
yeah, that is a problem, but I have gone with the standard Jaiswal and Butler. I've gone Padikkal at 3 because I think that there is a problem there for them to finish. But
So
then
the problem for me there is the particle. I feel that after the power play slows down immensely. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Even though in domestic he does play in the middle order, I just feel what I saw in RCB, he was outstanding in the first 6 overs. There were certain games against Rajasthan themselves. He scored 100 as well, where he did play well outside the power play. But in general, I feel that if you look at his strike rate over the last couple of years, it dips when the power play finishes as the
That's
ball
true.
gets older.
That's definitely something that they might have think about. Then maybe they go with they go Padikkal open and then they play Butler at 3 because Butler can just go all crazy whenever he needs to, you know.
You
But I
know,
think
you
Butler
can
needs
go
to play in the
Samson
power play.
3, Butler at 4 also. You can play
Yeah,
Butler anywhere, man. You can
Butler
play
can. Yeah,
Butler
Butler is
at 5.
a handy player all
Yeah, he
around.
can play Butler at 5. You won't want Butler to play at 6, but he can play at 6. He can play at 7. He can play anywhere.
Yeah,
But I think ideally, the top 4 spots, you want your best players to play the most deliveries, right? So that's what you would go.
and
But you
you
also
play
know,
Butler at 4. That's fair. You play Jaiswal and Padikkal to open. Play Samson at 3. Butler at 4. Hetmeyer at 5. You
then
play
that's the
Parag.
thing, right? You need Hetmeyer because Rajasthan's problem has been after 4.
Yeah,
The same as Sunrisers and a lot of other teams like RCB also. You need Hetmeyer to fire. I think that's the most crucial player. 5, 6 needs to fire.
yeah. I think Hetmeyer, Parag, and Jimmy Neesham. That's where
Parag
the
again, man. I think Rajasthan have a soft spot for him. Prithvi Shaw, they've kind of not lived up to the hype
yeah.
that even though Prithvi's had some excellent innings in the IPL, but overall, I just feel that they haven't matched their talent. And I think Ran Parag has been shown immense loyalty, and it's now or never for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is his tournament. But the fact that after that we're talking about, yeah, Ash, Yuzi, Prashiz, and Bolt. That's at 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you know this will be the tournament that Rajasthan, the bowlers will win you tournaments, and that's why that they, you know, even if they have 10, 15 runs less, these 16 overs will really, you know, propel them to the next level. I think that's a lot of teams, like we said, have gaps, but this is the smallest gap that I see. Because even when you're talking about someone, we're talking about, you compare like a finishing option when we spoke about Marindu Hasaranga, Shabaz Ahmed, and Dinesh Karthik, and you put them up against the Hetmeyer, Parag, and Jimmy Neesham, I'd still pick up Hetmeyer, Parag, and Jimmy Neesham because I think that there's more firepower over there to finish and the same capability of giving you 4, 5 overs as well.
Yeah. I
So
think
that's
that
the
I think their bowling will really help them. I think they will compete because of their bowling. Again, that lower middle order will be a problem because when they do come up against teams also with strong bowling lineups, they will have a bit of a concern there. But if the top 4 fire, then they don't have to worry about it. And I feel it's a risky kind of thing. But in this situation, if you do have a strong top 4, I think it's a positive. More days, more seasons than not, someone like a Butler, Samson, Jaiswal, Padikkal, you take that as a top
yeah,
order, right? So
that's exactly what I'm saying. Yep.
even with Punjab, I think it's an approach. It might backfire, but I'm fine with that from that side of things. You said they're finishing first, and
Yeah, before we move on to the last 3 teams, I just have a quick comment to make over here. Let's
yeah.
finish the last 3 teams and then we'll just both of us will talk and name our top fours.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
because I
Fine.
feel like I'm just confusing myself a little too much by that numbering.
Okay, fine. And then let's move on to the next team. Let's talk about the 2 new teams. So first, let's start with Gujarat Titans. They have your beloved Rashid Khan. They have Hardik Pandya at the wheel. Very interesting quote. I'll just start you with
They'll
that. And
finish
then
at 10th. Just a number to throw you onto it.
he said that success is theirs and criticism or like problems are mine or something like that. Hardik Pandya basically saying that anything negative you can blame on me, but success you say it's a team thing. So a crazy, crazy dialogue to start the thing, but. A different type of captain. We don't know how he's going to captain, but there is some talented players. But look, we all said Jason Roy is a bargain. This guy is a bargain, but again, availability issues. They've got Gulbadin, not Gulbadin, Gulbaz.
Gurbaz.
Yeah, Gurbaz. So I don't know how it's going to work out for Gujarat Titans, but Rashid Khan is a shining light. But we know that we've seen as Sunrisers that you can't. So Rashid Khan can't win you a title on his own.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I think that this team is the problem is their batting. I think that
Yeah.
they I don't know what they were thinking, but they have absolutely no middle order. Usually you say the top three are good, but here top three is also a problem. Their finishers are decent, and then they have a relatively decent bowling order. But I think the batting is a big problem, and you can't just go in with like a Vijay Shankar at 3 because I had no other option. I had to throw in a Vijay Shankar at 3. So that
Yeah.
becomes a big problem. At number 3 and 4, you have a Vijay Shankar and Dwayne Wade for me. That's not ideal 3 and 4. That's not ideal. So that is a big problem. Shuman Gill had won, and they have gone. Jason Roy would have been very good, but I think unfortunately, whatever reasons, he's not available anymore. So they have to go with the Gurbaz. And then you play a Vijay Shankar at 3, and then you have wicket keeping problems. You have to play Wade. So then you play Wade at 4, and then you play Hardik at 5, Rahul Tewatia at 6, Rash at 7, again, that batting option, Rash has to play at 7. For Sunrisers, they're all playing at 8. But that's another problem. Then they have Sai Kishore at 8, Pradeep Sangwan at 9, Shami at 10, and Lockie Ferguson at 11. So Lockie Ferguson, Shami, Sangwan, Sai Kishore, Rash, good bowling. But batting is a big problem, big worry. And Rahul Tewate also can give you a few overs. Hardik Pandya can give you a few overs. Obviously, they are saying that he's going to bowl. But any team that has Vijay Shankar and Wade at 3 and 4 is concerns me, and I think that's going to be an important challenge for Gujarat, and that is the reason I think that they will struggle to make the playoffs this season.
Yeah, I feel also, Jason Roy is a huge miss. Him scoring 50 of 20 balls. We saw it for Sunrisers as well. He performed really well. So a start like that can really, give confidence to, the other players. But like I think, like you said, like Rashid might be coming a bit earlier ahead of
7.
time with the bat. You don't really want to see that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's an outstanding player, but we can't rely on him to play 6, 7 overs. You need your other players. And then Hardik Pandya, where is he going to play? We've seen him play as the finisher. He's not going to have Ishan Kishan ahead of him. He's not going to have Rohit Sharma ahead of him. He's not going to have Surya Kumar Yadav ahead of him.
And that's the thing, that compared to what he had at number at the top 4 over there versus what he's going to
yeah,
have here, it's a big difference.
yeah,
To
which
due respect to these players as well.
yeah, and which is going to be a big challenge for him. But I just want to see Hardik Pandya. He's more mature now. He's he is or going to be 29. He's much more mature than he was when we saw him at Coffee with Karan. So I just want to see him as a captain. How does he approach things? Sometimes when you're an all-rounder, it does work in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't work in your favor because it can be over exhaustive as well. So I would like to see how he performs. But I think I completely agree with you
Yeah,
about.
we have two new captains this time. So if you had told me in the beginning of let's say last year or something that two new captains in IPL 2022 will be Faf and Hardik, I would want Faf to be my captain versus Hardik. That's the unfortunate aspect of his the baggage that comes with Hardik Pandya. So that's going to be very important for him to kind of curb that, quieten that down, and just kind of how he comes out and how he captains will be important. But I feel like this team, just that batting, man, that batting worries me. I
Uh,
talk about Vijay Shankar and Wade. I can't get over that. Making the team, I just couldn't get over the fact that Vijay Shankar is going to play at 3. Maybe there is a little bit of an unfair bias over there because we've seen him struggle for Sunrisers. But I think that he is more of a like a 5-6 kind of player, not at number 3 for sure. So that is my only worry for this. Let's see how that pans out. But
Yeah. So for you, they're finishing 10th. Let's move on to Lucknow Super Giants. This franchise was there with, I mean, the owners were there with Pune before the Pune Super Giants. So, the owners have, they did come second in one of those years, but it looks like a very strong 11. Again, squad is a problem for Lucknow, but 11 looks solid. They have very good utility players, whether it's a Deepak Huda or a Krunal Pandya. There's a lot of options in terms of bowling and batting, and good utility players. So, how are you looking at this Lucknow team? Abu Bakr in the house. Salam alaikum, brothers. Long time. Welcome. Salam, buddy.
yes, so yeah, I think Lucknow. I think the we were talking about they're having 11. They have a very very good 11. No doubt about that. There are challenges in this 11 within the 11. We talk about the Huda and the Kunal fight. That's going to be how are they, on what terms they are, is a problem. Manish Pandey has struggled for Sunrisers. Will he be able to relive himself or relive his old self? Will he be able to he's playing a important number 3. So at 3, 4, and 5, you have Manish Pandey, Deepak Huda, and Krunal Pandya. How is that going to pan out for these guys? Is something I have to. I'm going to be interested to find out, intrigued to find out if they can take off. I think that this side will go on and finish first in this league. If these three can take off, will they take off or no is the big question. I think their bowling is decent. Their top order is very very good. I think in KL and Quinton, I think they have. I think the most lethal. I think the top two. To be very honest, in terms of just the way they go out. I mean, Rohit and Nishan probably come close, but I think in KL and Quinton, I think you have just a fantastic openers. Manish Pandey at 3, Huda at 4, Krunal at 5, Stoinis at 6, Jason Holder at 7, Bishnoi at 8, Avesh at 9, Rajput at 10, and they're going to miss Mark Wood a lot. They're going to miss Mark Wood. Oh man, that's actually changing the complexion of this team completely.
That's what Abu
Because
Bakr
with the
saying.
Markwood and without a Markwood, this is a completely different team.
Yeah, that's what Abu Bakr saying. Mark got injured though, and this is the thing. If luck is not on your side and someone gets injured like that, then yeah, every team is going to have a problem. Whoever gets an injury like that to a good player of theirs is going to be a problem.
We'll
But I
have to
still
see
feel they
who
can fill the gap.
replaces Markwood. If they can bring in
Still,
like a
they're still searching.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the problem. Will they obviously have the option to go with a foreign fast bowler. If they can find a good foreign fast bowler who can light up the IPL, great. Otherwise, this team there can be a difference. It can be this
But
team
man,
can finish first, or this team can finish eighth or ninth with that one player difference. I think.
the thing with Mark Wood is I've seen him bowl spectacularly well. I've seen him get smashed also. So
Yeah,
it also depends on what type of Mark Wood is showing up. And
available.
on these pitches, I feel I would fancy playing against Mark Wood. Not me. I'm just saying teams would
Yeah,
fancy it because you can use the pace on a Mumbai wicket. The wicket will be a bit more true. It'll be good to bat on. So I just feel maybe he won't be as effective. But again, I think he's an excellent bowler as well. So on his day, he'll bowl those Yorkers. He has that extra pace. He can cause problems with the batsman. So I just feel he's not an irreplaceable player, but of course you will miss him.
yeah. I think that's true. I think I agree with you. But just to add to that, I think they have the likes of Avish Khan, Ravi Bishnoi, Jason Holder, Marcus Stoinis. These guys are good. They'll give you good
Yeah,
overs.
you have
Ankit
options
Rajput.
there.
These guys are good players.
You
So they
can't
have a
have
good
everything
decent.
right, like in life. So sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes something gets snatched away from you, but you have to still deal with it. And I think they can. They do have the resources. One big positive for me is that middle order that you mentioned, right? Like okay, Krunal Pandya, Deepak Huda, whatever the problems are, but just on paper, KL Rahul will look at that and say, I can bat freely,
Yeah.
right? But having said that, if he has the same luck that if he's bringing the Punjab luck to here, then he's screwed either way.
Agreed.
Then you'll have Kunal Pandya and Deepak Huda running each other out and everything like that. But if you just look at the batting depth, the all-rounders that he has at his disposal, I think that will give him confidence to perform, I feel.
Yeah, the thing again, again with this team, I think everyone from four can bowl. Yeah, Huda
Mashallah,
can bowl, Krunal can bowl, Stoinis can bowl. What's up?
Mashallah, philosophical Musti bhai. Abu Bakr, I have to meet you very soon. I met him a week back, I think. I have to meet him very soon, and we have to catch up before the IPL, and I'll get his preview. But like, I really appreciate you joining. Keep asking us questions, and yeah, sorry, you were saying, Don.
No, I said everyone from four can bowl. Huda, Krunal, Stoinis, Jason Holder, Bishi, and everyone can bowl from four. And then they can go out,
Stoinis,
batting can go up to 7, 8 as well.
you have Stoinis there to hit. I forgot about him, even
Yeah,
though
yeah.
you mentioned
Stoinis
him
is
10
I
times.
have Stoinis at 6, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
Jason Holder, very good player, very handy
oh,
player.
this is a next level team.
This
So
is the I think
we
this
get
this
it,
team
but
will
what
finish in the
mark
top
would they
four.
have Holder? Like, what are you worried about?
I still think that if Wood was there, that would have just taken
Who
them.
would
I
you
think they
drop?
would
Who would you
huh?
drop?
For Wood.
Yeah.
Why you don't need to drop anyone for Wood?
Jason
Quinton,
Holden? Marcus
Quinton,
Stoinis could
yeah,
be. Oh,
and
that's
Wood.
it.
That's your fourth player.
Who's the fourth player now?
Quinton, and now we'll have to see who they replace with, and whoever they
Okay, okay.
replace will probably
Sorry
make that
about
fourth
that.
player. No,
So,
no, no
bro,
problem.
that's deadly bowling, man.
That's
That's
what I'm saying. This is a very good side. Again, I think that they went out and did very well compared to Gujarat. I think they had a better option. I think if you compare
much
only to
better.
Gujarat,
This
yeah.
is this is the best 11 you've mentioned so far.
Yeah, I think this is a very good side. I just feel like Markwood will be missed a little bit more, but
Hey, man.
if they can bring in like a, uh, there are limited fast scoring options, unfortunately, because everyone has been taken by some team. But this is a good side, and I think that this will finish in the top four.
The Siddharth Trivedi season that he had with Rajasthan Royals in the first year. After that, I don't look on paper anymore. It doesn't matter. I just hope that and also what's his name? Harmanpreet Singh, Harmeet Singh, the Deccan
Harmeet
Charge
Singh, yeah.
man of the match. Like it's okay. You just need a bowler like that, Rajat Bhatia type. These kind of bowlers are also effective in the IPL. So you don't need if you have a Jason Holder already there, you have Avesh Khan they have pace, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Markwood will be missed. He's a quality bowler, but
There are options. There are definitely
there's
options.
options. There's options there. This is not that big of a headache as I thought earlier on. It's okay. Yes, he will be missed, but they can manage. Where are they finishing?
They'll finish in the top four.
Okay, they're finishing in the top four. And
I'll
last game
yeah,
is
because I'm
after.
changing a couple of things by the end of the thing. The last team, we'll talk about them, and then I'll talk about my top.
We're not talking about the last team. Only I will talk about it for 30 seconds. If we talk about the last team, the problem is you have a flight tomorrow and you'll be missing your flight. If you talk about that team, you can go on for like 10 hours about these guys. I kept them last to tell you that we don't have enough time now.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'll give you my 11 and we can call it a day.
Sunrisers Hyderabad, according to our expert Abraziz, they were going to buy Ishan Kishan, they were going to buy Avesh Khan, they were going to buy Chahal was also going to be there.
No, no, not no, no, not Chahal, not Chahal.
There was a spinner there.
Huh?
There was a spinner there.
I can tell you who it was. I have my notes.
But Sunrisers Hyderabad, they had a big problem last season with David Warner, and then obviously after the season finished, they
No,
had a
they had Washington. They got him.
Oh, Washington. Okay. So after that David Warner problem, the Rashid Khan problem arose. So this franchise where we all thought, excellent, well run, the owners don't get involved, making top four all the time. Yes, they do have slight weaknesses, but they're the most consistent team in the IPL, under the radar, not given as much attention compared to a Mumbai or a KKR or even RCB for that matter of fact. But now that's starting to change a bit with these controversies, with these issues which are piling up, and the auction where you're overspending, I feel, on a few players. I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel that they definitely overspent. With that amount of money, they could have pushed for other players. But yeah, you can have your 5-10 minutes.
So, so here's my take, right? I mean, I am a Sunrisers fan. Don't get me wrong. I will try to have that bias. I will try to talk positive about them, but there are issues. There are issues in terms of the fact that David Warner issue we talked about, Rashid Khan issue. Obviously, there's something going on in the back that we don't know. But my thing is, this is a new season, right? David Warner is past, Rash is past, everyone is past. Now you have a certain team that you've gone in with a certain focus. Definitely, you've overpaid for players. There are, Romario Shepherd. I don't understand the fact that you paid 7+ CR on a player like who's not proven. So it's talk about not proving in the IPL. We're talking about Cummins, the level of Cummins who's not proven in the IPL, and you have question marks over them. Romario Shepherd has not even played, I don't think, in the IPL before. So you pay a 7+ CR. My only thing is, if you go back and see their auction, they tried for a lot of players. The only problem is that their plan A's didn't work for a lot of players. They had to go with plan B's. And when you have to go with plan B, then you have to manage accordingly. But you can't let it go to plan C.
But
That's why they
I
had to
feel that the
overspend
plan
a
B
little bit.
was not planned. I
I
don't think
don't
they
agree
had a
with you.
plan B.
I
I think
think
the plan B was made out on the spot. That's what I feel.
I don't agree with you completely. I'll tell you why. Because when I will tell you my team, right? We are talking about 8 bowlers and 9 batsmen.
No, no,
So there is
I understand
experience.
where you're coming from. But look, the thing is, I completely agree with you with that. I think the overall squad is not as bad as we make it look
Initially
like,
thought.
right? Abu Bakr Singh, Hyderabad's jersey is also horrible.
I
I
agree.
like the orange pants. The orange pants were kind of, jailer bad boy look. I like that. I
No,
don't
I
have
think the jerseys are a bit of a problem. That I agree with.
I don't have much issue. You have a problem with the sponsor, also you have a problem with
No,
cheerleaders.
no, I like Cars 24, bro. Nice sponsors.
No, but I lost my track of thought. What was I saying?
Train
Yeah,
of thought.
I think they bought utility players and everything. But Don, you had the second biggest budget, man. You had the second biggest budget. Like, you could have picked up some players there. You could have, whether
I
it
think
was.
they've gone. I think they've gone in with the mentality of this is going to be the team for the next 5-6 years, and everyone is young. You see, compared this is like the Arsenal of the IPL right now because they've gone in with young players. No one's giving them a chance. Suddenly, everyone's talking good about Arsenal. Watch by the end of the tournament, everyone's going to talk good about Sunrisers as well. I'm just being biased, but I think that experience is a problem. I think that they went in and they overpaid on players. Experience is a problem. They haven't gone and gotten a big name signing. There's Nicholas Puran obviously is your biggest name, and he's not that big.
That's
With due respect to him.
So that's the thing right now. It's kind of hope driven, but if Markram, Puran, and Williamson, if these guys perform, then you don't have much of a problem because you have I wouldn't say sidemen, but like
Utility players around him.
utility players and like people who can give you valuable contributions. If Puran's on 80 or 50, someone like a Abhishek Sharma can find the singles, someone like a Sundar can find the singles, and someone like Abdul Samad can also smack those sixes as well. You just need your main players to step up. Now Kane Williamson has a tennis elbow, so that's kind of unfortunate. We don't know how much of the tournament he will play. Nicholas Puran has underperformed in the IPL so far, but now the tracks are going to be good for him. He's played in Dubai. Very surprising, his interview just now with the Sunrisers, he said his favorite place is the UAE ground. And that's only because in the under-19 he scored 100.
Yeah.
But his IPL has been poor over there. I feel that here the ball will come on. Wankhede, West Indies like playing there. And I think he's someone who can perform. he needs to have a stellar season. He has a stellar season. They do have players, like you said, Marco Jansen can easily pick up 2-3 wickets with a new ball. If you have like Romario Shepherd, he can hit you a few sixes. He can pick up wickets. Someone like a Washington Sundar, excellent utility player. I would say, along with experience, also a leg spinner. They're missing. They have Shreyas Gopal, but I don't know. He's not
Not
been
good enough.
effective for Rajasthan
Yeah,
Royals.
I think that's the other weakness that I have. But I just don't want to write this team off because I think that there is still enough in this team to surprise a
Definitely,
bunch of people.
I don't think you can write it off. If you look at it in terms of positions, if you look at it, in terms of all-rounder, batsman, bowler, they have everything. Now it's just the personnel. Can the personnel match up? Because it's a risk because they're young, right? And they
Yeah,
haven't performed in the IPL apart from Williamson
yeah.
and let's say Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I don't do if, buts, and maybes. I only do absolutes, and the Hyderabad team is absolutely shit. No, I don't think it's absolutely shit.
Abu Bakr is just being Abu Bakr, Royal Challenge is Bangalore fan like
Is
Hamzu.
he? No,
I'm
I think he's
asking. I want him to
Sunrisers.
respond. I want him to respond.
I think he's Sunrisers. His brother is RCB fan.
I know
I
Hamzu is
look.
RCB.
The
Yeah.
thing is, I felt that Rajasthan Royals team was absolutely crap in the first season, and they won, right?
That's my thing. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Just don't
So
write this team off.
yeah. So if Shane Watson and Shane Warne, they killed it, but at the same time,
That
the
Shane
old.
Watson and Shane Warne is going to be the Kane Williamson and Nicholas
So
Puran.
they do have players, right? Like Nicholas Puran can tear apart any bowling attack if he wants. Someone like a Bhuvi Natarajan, they can bowl well at the death. They haven't in the last 2 years, so that's been a problem. Washington Sundar, Markram can bowl in the power play. They can bowl outside the power play. So they have, and a lot of their batsmen can bowl and vice versa, right? So they have good utility players. No, I used to be KKR fan honestly because of Ganguly's season 1. Used to
So
be a
fair.
KKR.
I could respect that at least. So I don't respect Hamzu for
You
supporting
respect that,
RCB.
huh? Oh.
I
If
would
I,
respect that.
if I
I understand a
listen,
player touch.
these guys lived in Hyderabad most of their lives, and they're supporting outside teams. I don't live there, and I get criticized if I just say "good shot, Virat Kohli." Even though
No. For Abu Bakr, I'm saying at least he's being honest. He likes Ganguly, so he supports that.
he's being, I used to get criticized heavily, even if I say,
Because you're Musti, bro. You're Musti. There's a difference.
but
You
now
criticize also, you get criticized also.
Abu Bakr Singh, I haven't been supporting anyone last 2 years. Boring ho gaya IPL.
Oh no, नको बोलो यार, कहीं को सब बोल रहे. अच्छा मजा आता है IPL में. Something to look forward to.
Yes, Don. But Don, you made very valid points in terms of the positive side of things. I think they have players there who can bat and bowl. They have those utility players for sure. It's just that star is missing. Can Williamson perform like he did in 2018? Can Bhuvneshwar perform like he did in 2016? And yeah, I think that's it is what it is. But I feel that they have good bowling depth as well. Karthik Tyagi can come in, Umran Malik can come in.
Nattu.
Natarajan is there, I think, and so if they do have injuries, they do have backup players, and I think Sunrisers have done this good in the last 5-6 years. Tom Moody has ensured that they have bowling options, and he always looks at bowlers who will win you matches. I feel that Bhuvi was going towards the end of his career, and maybe they should have looked a bit more into the future, but they do have youngsters there as well. So maybe someone like a Bhuvi can give them that, that advice which is needed.
That's why I think he probably won't play all games, but I think he's in that team just for the experience
Yeah,
aspect of
Abu
things.
Bakr is saying, I think season rests on Kane Williamson's form. I think opposite. I think it rests on Puran and
Puran.
Markram. But one thing Sunrisers have that many teams except for Chennai and Mumbai to a certain extent, but Mumbai are going to be tested because there is no, that middle order is missing. But captain Kane
Yeah.
Williamson and Dhoni are outstanding captains, and they could be the difference.
I agree. I think that's going to be important. That's why I think Kane is an aggressive captain, and when he has options in his hand, he's a more potent player. I think if you see Dhoni and Kane, they like their options. Once they have options, they make the magic. That's why I think that this team will go in far. I'm saying Abhishek Sharma, Aiden Markram to open the batting, Kane at 3, Tripathi at 4, Puran at 5, Samad at 6, Washi at 7, Jansen at 8, Bhuvi at 9, Tyagi at 10, and Nattu at 11.
I go Tripathi and Abhishek Sharma to open.
There is a lot of talks that this has been a decision already made. So I just want to see if that plays out. Of course, Markram and Jansen might not be available initially, but I think that there is a lot of talk that Kane and Abhishek will open, and everyone else will follow suit. Rahul will play at 3, and Puran will play at 4. They might not play Markram. They might get in Romario Shepherd instead, or a David or a Glenn Phillips instead in the middle order to just beef up the middle order a little bit more.
Bubak is asking where is SRH finishing. Give me your top four now.
So now I'm going to give you my top four. I'm going to say Rajasthan, DC, Lucknow, and Hyderabad. I'm just being a little
You
biased.
always put Hyderabad in there, eh?
बोलना पड़ता भाई दिल का मामला है क्या
I
करें.
think this is the cliche is saying that it's too early to tell, but this is a longer season. So
Yes.
even in the midway, if we predict halfway through, we can get that wrong as well because
Yes.
there's, I think, more games to come.
Yes, I agree 100%. I think Mustili lost you over there, but that is definitely going to be a problem. It's going to be a different tournament, and no one is going to be written off after, until the like game 9, 10, so on and so forth. So that will be very very important. But in my opinion, I think Rajasthan, DC, Lucknow, and Sunrisers. That's just my opinion. Of course, there's bias in Sunrisers over there. If you want me to not choose Sunrisers, the other team that I would choose is KKR, and we will hopefully wait for Mufti to come back because if not, uh, hopefully he can give his predictions and then we can call it a day because I think Mumbai and CSK will struggle. I think that these teams will struggle a little bit and that's going to be a big problem. Musti is back. I was just
Oh, my battery
talking.
died, man. All that Sunrisers talk, my battery died. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem at all. But it is what it is. But in my opinion, that's the four. I want your four, and then we can call it a day for this turn for this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that I didn't have my laptop on charge, but I would go top four. Lucknow. I will go Lucknow. I will go RCB. I will go KKR and Sunrisers.
Oh wow, you also have the मेरू फिर गालियां दे रहे थे चुप तो भी. अबू
No,
बकर, give it top four, jaldi.
because I have them because if I don't have them, then I'm being called this fan, that fan, this fan. So I'm very conscious of what people talk about me. So I have to
We
be.
want we want Abu Bakar's four also.
Abubakar,
If
give
he,
us that, and I will give you orange cap, purple cap, and what's his name, the MVP.
yeah,
So Abubakar CSK, no, bro, man. Like, what is this? Like, this is T20
it's
cricket.
IPL we're talking about.
Yeah, IPL. Like, come on. I don't think. Forget. I don't want to hear all this Dhoni talk, this, that. But yeah, I think CSK always have a chance. They always have a chance.
CSK MI can never write them off.
Yeah, we always write them off, but you can never write them off. Like,
I don't, but this time I
I
genuinely
didn't
feel.
put Mumbai Indians in the top four. They're there, man. Mumbai Indians is going to challenge. I think yeah, it was a very biased top four, but Mumbai CSK will always compete. CSK might not have the same thing. Like if Shivam Dubey,
They are gonna miss Chahar also.
they're going to miss Deepak Chahar as well. So there's things. Of course, you don't want to count them out. Nobody will count them out. But I just feel I'm not too confident with the way they're going to play. Lucknow, RCB, MI, and DC. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Lucknow, RCB, MI, and DC. Fair
That's a
enough.
good shout. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very good shout. Orange cap,
Orange cap, Nicholas Puran.
purple cap,
Rabada.
and MVP.
MVP will be um, KL Rahul.
Oh, that's a good shout. Going orange cap, I'll go KL Rahul. Purple cap, I'm gonna go RP Singh. And
Who?
then RP Singh.
From 2009.
No, purple cap, I'll go Harshal Patel. And then MVP Nicholas Pura. Back for
My
Pura.
boy.
Yeah, I think that's just bias, nothing else. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. But sometimes when it comes to Sunrises, me and Don have extremely biased
Biased.
thoughts. So just bear with us there. Otherwise, everything else we try to be thing. And Don has this hatred for some teams as well. So maybe overcritical. Like you're not putting
I'm
Mumbai.
not overcritical,
He
bro.
didn't put Mumbai and Chennai there. I think that's thing. MVP Tilak Verma. Hyderabad के बोल के बोल रहे हैं MVP Tilak
But
Verma.
he has a good shout. If he can really take this, it
Your
is very
friend,
good.
your friend is managing him. That's why you're going to say that.
No. I mean, hopefully that will be good for Akshay also. But genuinely think Tilak Verma has a good chance because he'll get a good run of games. So if he can make the most of it, he has a chance.
Tilak Verma is gonna. Yeah, I think he can play with this in this Mumbai team. He will play. He will.
I think he'll play at three for sure. I think from game one he'll play at three. They'll give him a decent stint, 5-7 games. They'll tell him if you can perform good. If not, then they'll look for other options.
I'm just saying orange cap. Virat Kohli. Why forgetting him?
I don't want to forget him. I would love for him to have a good season, but I just feel like he a lot of the thing problem is in here for him more than anywhere else. And if he
You
can come out of that, then 900 runs is going to be easy for him. But
I'm just going with somebody who's at the peak of their career and something. I'm not saying Virat Kohli is retiring age, but I think there was a peak. There was that 2000,
that 2016 to
yeah,
18 kind of
16 to even 2016 to
19.
2019, right? Like he was right up there. So I think he's past that period. And what he's 33 years of age, he still has cricket. He's known. He's not old or anything like that. But there's a specific period, I think, between age of 26 30 where in your peak form. I'm just going with someone like that, like a KL Rahul, who's 29 30. I just feel that he's someone who can think. Even Shreyas Iyer for me was the second option for orange cap. I think Virat Kohli will still play a massive role, and I hope he proves us wrong and does get the orange cap. But I just feel that to live up to that expectation is going to be difficult.
Yeah,
And I feel that Virat Kohli now you'd see a more aggressive role. I think what he should do is up that strike rate. 40 of 20 balls, 40 of 18 balls. He doesn't need to look to play the beginnings. I think he should just go and smash it and let Maxwell, Faf, and whoever else is there take that responsibility. He's not captain anymore.
Anuj Rawat will take that
Anuj Rawat, yeah,
responsibility.
let them take the responsibility. I think he should just change his game, and it's very easy for me to say that, but just play without thing. Abu Bakr Singh, who will finish last? According to Don, it will be Gujarat
Gujarat
Titans. It's not like
Titans.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch Rashid Khan take a hat trick against Sunrisers Hyderabad,
Yeah,
Gujarat.
that might still happen. That might still happen, but I still think they'll finish last.
They'll finish last. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Don, an excellent analysis from you. Really good points. Of course, only time will tell. Look, IPL, you also need some luck on your side. You need like freakish things happens. Who thought that Rahul Tewatia hitting, Cottrell and finishing his career to a certain extent, or
At least in
changing
the
his
IPL.
career? Huh?
At least in
Yes.
the IPL.
Yeah, so the IPL it will throw up surprises. It's a longer tournament, and I think Abu Bakr is right where this season it's going to be it might get to a point where it's too much cricket. So how is that sustained? How is the tournament going to be at a high level throughout for the next 2.5 months? That will be a key challenge, I think, for the organizers, for the players, and for everyone else. Will you boo Rashid Khan? I already booed him.
I always, absolutely. I hope he gets hit for 40 runs every game.
Yeah, I
I
think
love.
Rashid Khan.
I used to love him, but he just broke my heart, so I can't help it anymore.
So yeah, I think Rashid Khan is a world class player, but if he's not playing in your team, then you have to respect him. But yeah, you can
He
boo
is
him.
still. He is still. He's still the top spinner in this league by a mile. So
Yeah, again, I just feel that he's in a team similar to Sunrisers last time, where too much will depend on him. People will work the singles and they'll attack the other players.
yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
where he's going to suffer again. I feel.
He has a little bit of support with Sai Kishore this time because I think he's also a good spinner, but they still will struggle.
Yeah, I mean, he had like excellent support. Bhuvneshwar was there, Nabi was there. They had Natarajan, the thing, and they did well. But
Yeah,
I think that was a better bowling lineup than what Gujarat have
they
now.
have right now. Yep, there's going to be a problem. I mean, they have the likes of Shami Loki and all, but I still think that they're going to struggle a little bit.
Abu Bakr is saying Hardik Pandya worst captain. I'm saying do not get influenced by Coffee with Karan. Do not get influenced by Karan Johar. Okay, this is cricket, not Bollywood.
No, but I think that this is a very difficult, very interesting decision that
What
they've
a quote,
taken.
man! Go and see his press conference before the thing. What a quote! If success
भाई
is
वो
there,
बोल के बोलने का बोल सकते सब लोग but
भाई कौन बोले अभी तक मैं सुना नहीं ये लाइन पहली बार सुन रहा हूँ सक्सेस इज
because
देयर
it's easy he's already the bad boy of cricket, so it's easy to say something like that for him, in my
and
opinion.
also it's easy to criticize him.
Yeah, it is easy to criticize,
It
agreed.
is easy to criticize him. Somebody like KL Rahul, it takes a bit of time to criticize him. I think after India lost that South Africa Test series, he was criticized for his captaincy. But apart, he did have some poor calls for Punjab, but he wasn't criticized as much. Even he was a part of that same coffee episode, and
Yeah,
Hardik Pandya had to bear the brunt. So it is what it is. He is that kind of personality, and I don't know how he's going to captain, but I think it's also bringing that flavor in, right? He's a Gujarati boy. He's an all-rounder. He's a hard hitter. He can bowl as well. Again, will he bowl? Will he not bowl? We don't know, but it fits the Gujarat scheme of things. I just feel that a Gujarati guy who's an all-rounder, it kind of fits that bill. I think for him more than anything, he'll miss his brother, but
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how he handles the likes of Rashid Khan, and there's some big personality players there, right? So Marcus Stoinis is also there. No, he's
No,
in
no,
Lucknow.
Stein is Lucknow.
Who's the third guy they retained?
Gill.
Shubman Gill. Yeah, so you have a batsman, you have an all-rounder, and you have a bowler there, and then you have to just work around these three star players. That pretty much wraps it up. Don, is
Yeah.
there anything else you want to add?
No, I think it's just looking forward. Like there's a lot to look forward to in terms of how this tournament will pan out, especially with the 10 teams. That remains to be seen. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for good cricket. Let's hope for Sunrisers win.
Yep, it's gonna be a fun time. The carnival is back. It's gonna be a good festive time next 2 months. Hopefully, it fits the billing and we get to see some exciting matches. We always do in the IPL. We're gonna see some good quality cricket, and I just hope that there's not too many injuries and it doesn't spoil the fun. And I hope everyone is safe as well. Last time, COVID was a big issue. Hope everyone stays safe. The bio bubbles are good and intact and everything, and we get to see a successful tournament.
Absolutely, looking forward to
All
it.
right, thank you so much, Don. You are on vacation for a week, but
Yes,
you will be back soon. Until
yes.
then, we will try to steer the ship and what do you call it?
I'll try to jump in whenever I can.
Yeah, whenever you can, do join us. But the IPL content will continue on down the track, and yeah, it was a pleasure, and catch you very soon, man.
Absolutely, looking forward to it, man.
Thank you.